Hello everyone! In the social sciences, a social group is two or more humans who interact with one another, share similar characteristics, and have a collective sense of unity. Society can also be viewed as people who interact with one another, sharing similarities pertaining to culture and territorial boundaries. Now, we will learn some forms of groups that exist in the society. Mechanical solidarity. It refers to connection, cohesion, and integration born from homogeneity or similar work, education, religiosity, and lifestyle. Organic solidarity. It is born from the interdependence of individuals in more advanced societies, particularly professional dependence. Gemeinschaft. It is often translated as community. It's a concept referring to individuals bound together by common norms, often because of shared physical space and shared beliefs. Gesellschaft. It is translated as society. Refers to associations in which self-interest is the primary justification for membership. Primary groups. It is typically a small social group whose members share close, personal, enduring relationships. The goal of primary groups is actually the relationship themselves rather than achieving some other purpose. Families and close friends are examples of primary groups. Secondary group. It is a large group whose relationships are impersonal and goal-oriented. Their relationships are temporary. People in a secondary group interact on a less personal level than in a primary group, and their relationships are generally temporary rather than long-lasting. Secondary relationships involve weak emotional ties and little personal knowledge of one another. Primary groups can form within secondary groups as relationships become more personal and close. In-groups. They are social groups to which an individual feels he or she belongs, while an individual doesn't identify with the outgroup. Outgroups. They are any group or category that an individual doesn't belong to as a member and may even feel animosity toward or compete with. Sport teams, unions, and sororities are examples of outgroups. Membership group. It is a group where everyone is physically a member of that group. Reference group. Sociologists call any group that individuals use as a standard for evaluating themselves and their own behavior a reference group. An example of a reference group is a group of people who have a certain level of affluence. Formal group. It has its own set of distinct characteristics, including well-defined rules and regulations, an organizational structure, and determined objectives and policies, among other characteristics. Informal groups. The informal organization evolves organically and spontaneously in response to changes in the work environment, the flux of people through its porous boundaries, and the complex social dynamics of its members. Occupational group. It is group created because of the fading of the kinship functions. Voluntary group. It is group consisting of various members who have the same interests and get the attention of the community. Online community. It is a virtual community that exists online and whose members enable its existence through taking part in membership rituals. Online communities have also become a supplemental form of communication between people who know each other primarily in real life. In the online world, social interactions no longer have to be face-to-face or based on proximity. Instead, they can be with literally anyone, anywhere. There is a set of values to consider when developing an online community. Wow! Apparently, there are a lot of social groups in our society. Which social group are you in?